Thank you for browsing page 121. You're saying, hey, wait a minute. This book is about Clement Sector light speed. That's true, but I'm giving you a shot of the big, beautiful book first. This is the Clement Sector 3rd edition book. This thing is a beast. I call it the big, beautiful book because it's big and it's beautiful and it's a book. This is a really nice rule set, one of the best rule sets I've ever read. And, it's heavy. But if you don't want that much of a rule set, you have the best of it inside Clement Sector Lightspeed. This is a nice light version of the big beast. Here's the big beast. Here's the monster. Whoops. Almost knocked my camera down. Here's the monster versus the littler beast. Bit of a difference. Over 600 pages in the big one. A little over 100 in the small one. I have to admit, when I sat down to read Lightspeed, I was expecting a lot of truncated explanations and just a lot of stuff left on the cutting room floor because you're cutting 600 pages down to 100. That's a big, big reduction. And you know what? It's very skillfully done. If you're looking to just buy a set of Cepheus rules and you want either a scenario you're going to be building yourself, your own universe, or if you're going to just use this universe but you want to ease your way into it, this guy is your guy. So here we go. We're going to go take a look at this guy all the way through. So here we are. Author, John Watts. John writes a great source book, rule book, whatever you want. He does a really nice job. Lots of art in here, which did surprise me. I was expecting the art to be the first thing to go. And while it is down, it's still very present. I like that. Usually when you're buying any kind of abbreviated rule set, you really don't get art. So we get a long table of contents, which I always love in these books. Makes it very easy to find stuff. And then we get the introduction, where we're talking about Clement Sector and the fact that Clement Sector is not just a setting, it's its own game. It's a 2d6 Cepheus game, and a very good one at that. And you can find this book in hardcover at Independence Games or on DriveThruRPG as a PDF. I'll put a link to both below. This guy is, I think it's gone up since I got this, $35 for the hardcover this edition, but I think they've gone up a little bit, unfortunately. But the PDF is like $14. So absolutely affordable and a great rule set to get started with. So if you're new to 2x6 gaming and you have this idea you want to play, this is a great thing to start you off. So we have the setting, which is, of course, Clement Sector. We just passed Wormhole Collapse Day, which was April 15th of 2331. That was when the wormhole that connected Earth Sector to Clement Sector collapsed, and each was isolated hundreds of light years apart from each other, if not more. We have no idea how the actual terms, distance is. But then we got to look at the dice conventions, characters, task system, your character value, your difficulty for your tasks. Tasks are very simple in the 2x6 games. You throw 2x6, you're looking for an 8, and you get 2x6 modified by your skills, your dexterity, your strength, whatever is appropriate. And then if you want to modify it to make it simpler, you add a 6. If you make it formally, you make it a -6. That's all. Very straightforward. When I teach people how to play a 2x6 game, that's the first thing I show them. And then you got to look at effect. Effect is how well you succeeded at a task or how miserably you failed and what that does. And we got to look at skills. We get a nice look at the skills list, which is pretty nice. I was really surprised that this is pretty complete, considering, again, what you're giving up, 100 pages versus 600. But you could absolutely build characters and do all kinds of stuff out of this rule set. Your characteristics: strength, dexterity, endurance, intelligence, education, and charisma. There you go. And then we get different types. There are no aliens in Clement Sector per se. There are remnants of other alien cultures but the aliens themselves are not present. So it's Clement Sector is really kind of truckers in space. It's kind of more like an Alien, oddly enough, type universe where it's about science, it's about people, It's not about head aliens. I like aliens in my 2-6 settings, but it's easy to introduce them if you wish. But here we have humans, Altrants, which are altered humans. Sniffers have had their breathing altered. Uplifted animals. Various apes, bears. I have done a lot of books of Clement Sector, over 20 so far, I think, and I have covered uplifts and Altrants. So if you want to take a look at those videos and see if that fits you, that's a good way to go too. And then where did your character come from? These are the worlds you can choose from. This is a D100 chart, which was interesting, because usually these have a D66 chart. 1-6 representing tens, 1-6 representing singles. If I throw a 2 and a 6, that's 26. This is a D100 chart. So that's kind of neat. And we go to background skills, primary language. The nice thing about Clement Sector, and of course Earth Sector, is it's based on our world. So there is German, English, Japanese in this culture. And it's kind of neat because the world you're from dictates the language you grew up in. See, Greek and English, if you grew up on Megara. It's one of the things I like about the setting. Youth events, what happened to you as a child, what happened to you as a teen, how they can alter your growth. We all know that. College, did you go to college? Various events that have happened while you're there. Your careers, you have to enlist. This is very standard for 2-6 games, but some really interesting career steps in here. Your various skills, and any events after that, and you're finishing up, rolling up your character. You get mustering out benefits, and then we take a look at the careers themselves. You give me a colonist, an explorer, and then under each career you have assignments: a survey, explorer, or escort. And again, this gives you just a ton of characters that you can create and different careers they can follow. So for a spacer, you could be crew, engineer, gunnery, or flight. And here's all the charts you would need for it. This seems complicated. It's not. That's one of the things I love about 2-6 games, is there are a lot of options, and it's as complicated or as not complicated as you choose to make it. You could be a vagabond. Here's some equipment for you. Some pictures of equipment for you. Looks a little Han Solo to me. That's a laser pistol. Sturm is a German arms manufacturer based in Hub. Hub's one of the sectors. You get your slug throwers, energy rifles, ammunition and battery packs. We get starships. This book truly has everything you're going to need. Travel time in standard days for maneuver drives by acceleration. There you go. The distance in astronomical units. That's the distance from our sun to Earth. That's one astronomical unit. And then Zim drive. What is Zim drive? Standard jump drive does not exist in this. You have to go through Zim points, which are basically little tears in the cosmic fabric. Your ship activates its Zim drive, goes through the Zim point. Once it generates its Zim bubble, shoots through the Zim point, and then exit at another Zim point. That's one thing I like about Clement Sector a lot, is the Zim points can create great stories by having them blocked. Maybe there's political unrest in the area and somebody's blocked it or mined the Zim point, or worse, they've mined the exit point and nobody's realized it yet. A lot of things you can do with a limited entry into the area. And then ship size. The largest ship that can use a Zim drive can generate a Zim bubble. A Z bubble is 4,999 displacement tons. So the ships tend to be smaller in Clement Sector for that reason. You can have huge ships that are basically monitors that stay in one system. Purchasing fuel, refueling at a gas giant. Nice ideas in here. I play a couple of different 2-6 games. I really enjoy Clement Sector. I've only run Clement Sector. I have not run Earth Sector yet. I'll have to see how it goes, if I'm going to run an Earth Sector or not. But intrinsically, you need either be before Conduit Collapse Day, or you have to roll two separate parties. Starships, starship characteristics. We get a bunch of different looks at them, nice artwork on them. Personal combat, how we do it. Melee attack, how damage is done. It's all in here. You can play a complete campaign out of this book. And I have to tell you, in the early days of role-playing, a book like this was just lights out. I mean, there was nothing in the market to compare to this back in the day. There are very few that could compare to this now. But back in the day, to get this complete a rule set between 2 covers is just unbelievable. And now it's still really good. I love this. Starship combat, how your ships fight each other. Various actions you can do during starship combat, make players a little more involved. And then worlds and star systems. Where are you living? Why are you going from point A to point B? What are you doing? Universal World Profile, the UWP. And different population codes, star types. There's a nice look there. What you do lose here, you get a nice look at Cascadia, subsector H, it's the sample given, and then you get a character sheet that you can copy and use, and then the legalese, and we're out of the book. One thing you do lose, you don't get a lot on the trade merchant aspects of the universe. There's some, but not nearly as much, of course, as in the big, beautiful book. Clement Sector Light Speed. If you are looking for a lighter, quicker way to get into 2-6 role-playing, whether you're going to play Clement Sector or any other 2-6 role-playing, this is a phenomenal book. I've already stolen some stuff from this book. I actually stole one thing out of here and used it in my D&D game. So ideas are where you find them, and I always borrow from the best. So again, John Watts, the folks at Independence Games, sent me this book. Take a look at. I'm absolutely thrilled with it. Thank you guys. Again, you guys just do some of the best products out there. I'm really impressed by this book. So that's all I've got today. Again, one quick thank you to the folks at Independence Games for sending me this book to take a look at, as well as sending me the Big Beautiful Beast. The Big Beautiful book. Its parent. There it is. But the one we're talking about today is Clement Sector Light Speed. And Clement Sector is not just in its setting, it is its own complete game. This is a light version of the game, and it's very, very well done. So I'll put the links below, as I said. But in the meantime, I want to thank you for your time. Thanks for watching. Please leave comments below. Like and subscribe if you would. If you enjoyed the video, tell your friends. Still trying to grow the channel. Viewership and subscriptions is way down lately. I'm not really sure what's going on. But if we could do something to reverse that trend, I'd really appreciate it. Also, take a look at the Patreon, see if you can help me out there. But that's all I've got today on page 121. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.